What's your question, Alex?
I was just asking, can you make a homework later?
Oh, sure I can, yeah. The part that may be a little new for you is the idea of an overestimate or an underestimate. So that's a typical AP question. Is your tangent line approximation an overestimate or underestimate? The process for that is you need to find F double prime. F double prime tells you what about a graph? Talks about
Concavity.
concavity. And so with F double prime, you can know is it concave down or concave up. So if you're evaluating F double prime at some x coordinate, and you get a negative number, concave down. A tangent line on a concave down curve is going to be an overestimate because it's on top of it. If you take F double prime and evaluate it and you get a number bigger than 0, it's concave up. A tangent line to a concave up graph is going to be an underestimate because it's on the bottom half of the curve. I'm going to leave this up here so you guys can see it while we're working through these problems. Actually, I'm going to flop back and forth. Let's look at the first problem here on the homework I gave you. What you have is the graph of f, and then the tangent line is drawn for you. And the tangent line goes to the point 2, 1. You need the equation of that tangent line. So go find that. Find the equation of that tangent line. Don't overthink it. It's an Algebra 1 problem. It's not a calculus problem. To find the equation of a line, you need what? A slope. What's the slope of that line?
X.
No. What's the slope of that line? 1. Yeah. It's not a trick question. It's 1. It's a rise of 1. A rise of 1 and a run of 1. So the slope is 1.
Y is the negative 1.
Sir?
So dy equals x minus 1, right?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and find the y-intercept, typically it's easier. A lot of times you can't find the y-intercept easily. Typically it's easier to use this equation right here, y minus y1. Well, what's my y1 in this picture? 1, that one right there. There's my y1, okay? So y minus 1 equals to m. What's m? M happens to be 1 times x minus 2. Now, if you can find the without doing this, that's great. You know, feel free to do that. But this is typically where we start from because it may be some point way out in space where you can't find the y-intercept easily. So simplify that, you get y equals to x minus 2 plus 1, so x minus 1, which is what you said. There's our tangent line equation right there. Agree with that? We're going to use that to approximate 1.9 and 2.04. So tangent line, so y of 1.9 equals to 1.9 minus 1, which is 0.9. What we're saying is that this tangent line has a y-coordinate of 0.9 when x is 1.9, and we're using that to approximate the curve. Is that exactly the value of the curve?
No.
It's not, is it? Is it above the curve or below the curve?
Above.
It's above the curve. It's an overestimate. Do we see that? This line's right here. It is higher than the curve. The 0.9 right there is just slightly above the actual curve value. If I continue on down here further, it's easier to see. Like if I put up a spot there, you can see that spot is definitely above that curve, right? All right. Same thing here for the 2.04. We're estimating 2.04 here. So y of 2.04 is going to be 2.04 minus 1, which is 1.04, right? So over here at 2.04, I'm estimating the value of the curve. My estimate is 1.04. Is that above or below the curve?
Above.
It's also above the curve. Why is it above the curve? The curve is
Below the concave down.
concave down. That's the math we're looking for, right? So the question is, tell us an over or underestimate and why. These are overestimates since F is concave down. Concave down. All these problems are like this. All right, we're finding the tangent line, we're approximating the value of the curve, and telling it's overestimate or underestimate. Do number 2. Find the equation of that line. What's your equation?
No,
No?
not on the question.
I said, what's your equation, not what's your
Oh.
question. Say again?
Y equals negative x plus 3.
Y equals negative x plus 3. Exactly. Use that to approximate 1.9 and 2.04. Over or underestimates?
Under.
Because
Nothing about it.
graph is concave up.
So number 3,
Yep.
is it concave up?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
So is this 1? You see this 1? No answer. Yeah.
So in 3, you got what answers for 3?
1.05 and 0.98.
Correct. And on 4, you got
It's both 1.
both 1. So number 5 is not, you need to go back and read the direction of number 5. Make sure you know what you're looking at.
So this is, the tangent is not drawn.
Tangent is not drawn. Tangent can't be drawn because it's not a graph of f. It's a graph of g prime. So what does g prime tell you? Slopes. So thinking about this equation,
It says give a g of 3. Oh, never mind. That's good.
that's the equation you're trying to fill out. What pieces do you know?
You know, y1 and x1,
What are y1 and x1?
x is 3 and y is 8.
So y minus 8, x minus 3.
And then the slope,
What is the slope?
negative 1/2.
-1/2. That's the point of f prime or g prime, is it tells you slopes. So you know the slope of the tangent line at 3. You're frowning, Alex.
I don't understand. What I thought it was.
So 5 and 6 don't give you a graph of f. They give you a graph of g prime. Or not a graph of g, they give you a graph of g prime. They give you slopes, right?
Right.
You're not trying to draw a tangent line here. That's not the goal. You've got some parent function out in the universe somewhere that looks maybe something like, I don't know, maybe something like this. Okay? And the question is, what is the slope of that tangent line right there. Because this
Just
is
that
a
point.
graph of the slopes of,
That's just the point.
that is that point right there. That is, at x equal 3, it has a
It's
slope
negative
of
one.
negative 1/2.
And where the y1, when you're creating the equation here. Oh, okay.
And the slope is negative, so it's concave down.
That doesn't mean it's concave down. Slope is negative. That means concave down. Let me do that for 1 second. It can still have negative slope and be concave up. So let's think about how we're going to answer that. Is it concave down or concave up? What is,
Well, I thought the slope of G prime gave us
The
concavity.
the slope of G prime would?
Yeah.
So we're
So-
looking at the slope.
The slope of G prime
The
is
slope of G prime. What's the slope of G prime right here?
Negative.
A negative number. So that would tell you it's concave down.
Okay.
The fact that this is a negative 1/2 doesn't tell you anything.
Okay.
But the fact that the slope of this
Is negative.
is a negative number tells you it's concave down.
Okay.
You got 7.03? I may have did my math wrong, but I got 8.03. I could have done my math wrong. You got 8.03?
What?
Often it says
Oh,
8.03.
I-
Nine
That's
point five,
what I-
8.5. That's 9.5.
So Hannah, 5 and 6, you're not given F, you're given F prime. You're given the slope. So number 5 is an overestimate or underestimate?
Overestimate.
Overestimate because
Down.
G is concave down.
On 7 through 10, what do you want us to do?
To approximate that value without your calculator. Just give me half a second here, I'll show you.
Well, like,
Balance is an expense.
cube root of 27 is 3. So it's about 3. Just gonna go under three.
So that's in 57. Just kind of
Yeah,
guess.
it's gonna be like.
There's no kind of guess here. Stop kind of guessing. No. It's a tangent line approximation. We're going to find tangent equations, find exact values. We're not saying close to 3. That's not close enough.
Approximate. Who's approximate?
Alex is wrong.
As you said, approximate. You need to be more specific.
Oh,
Any
Coach,
rational-
if you're Alex, you need to be more
Any
specific.
rational person would think.
So, the square root of 99.4 is really close to the square root of 100. Yes. So our equation is y equals the square root of x. Put my pen up here. The square root of x at x equal to 100. This is the equation we're going to derive. Use our tangent line to approximate 99.4. So what I told you is you need to have, to find tangent line, you need the y-coordinate, don't you? So when x is 100, what's our y-coordinate going to be? I'll write it this way. F of x is 100. Sorry. Start over. F of x is square root of x. F of 100 is 10, right? So there's our y-coordinate. We have to have that. F prime of x equals 2. We need our slope.
Negative 1/2 x. 1 over 2 square roots of x.
1 over 2 square roots of x. So f prime of 100 1/20th. There's our slope. We have our y-coordinate, our x-coordinate, our slope. We can write a tangent line now. My tangent line equation is
Y.
y
Minus
y minus
10,
10 equals
120,
1/20th times
x minus 100.
x minus 100. Simplify from there. And use that to approximate 99.4.
Your calculator?
Yeah.
I thought you said don't.
No, I didn't say don't. I don't know about you, but I don't want to divide 99.4 by 20. That doesn't
Well,
sound
that's
fair at
why I
all.
was wondering,
Doing.
I was wondering how you this was gonna happen.
9.97. See, I told you it was really close to 10.
Yes, but really close to 10 is not the answer. 9.97 is the answer.
Approximately 10.
Equals to 9.97. Overestimate or underestimate, and why?
Underestimate. Because the 100 that we use is bigger than.
Yeah, none of that's going to get you any points on a test.
Unless I'm trying.
I mean, we have to know
We're gonna derive it again?
concavity. We have to know concavity.
So we derive it
You
again.
got to derive it again.
Just to prove it.
Do you know the answer?
No, I'm just saying like, you're just, I'm just saying here. Wait,
It's a
what?
positive.
looks like this.
Concavity tells you it's underestimate or overestimate.
Concave, it's
Oh.
concave.
I thought we already knew. Okay, never mind.
1/4.
It's concave up, right?
3.
Negative.
You would get a positive answer. So it's concave up, right?
You could have looked at the
That's a
slope
negative.
of the tangent.
Anybody have something besides concave up?
I think it should be concave down.
Tell me why.
Because square root function looks like that, so.
That's one reason, but that doesn't tell me
Okay.
what the actual F double prime is. You're exactly right, it's concave down. Tell me
It's
what
a
the,
negative
tell me
one
what
over
the,
four.
say again?
Negative
1/4 square root.
Not square
I
root,
mean, cube root.
not
X
cube root.
squared.
3 halves.
3/2 root.
That's not it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to say
Well,
it.
I just forgot the negative. Big deal.
It always just changes the answer completely.
Yeah.
It went
No
from
big
concave up to concave down for one negative. So F double prime. All right, so here's how you're gonna prove it. You have F prime equals to 1/2 times x to the negative 1/2. I always, talk about this a bunch. Turn them to negative exponents so you can think about your negative sign. F double prime of x equals to negative 1/4 x to the negative 3/2. I don't have to actually do any math.
You just know it's negative.
I know it's negative, so I'm going to write it this way. F double prime of 99.4 is less than 0. That's what I'm going to write. Because I know the answer's got to be negative coming out of this. So therefore, it is
Okay, down.
concave down, so we are at an overestimate. Overestimate, since F is concave down. Looks like it's not knocking like that. Okay. Somebody's legs much.
I swear, it's not me, it's coming from behind.
I think it's Hannah's leg.
It's Hannah's laces hitting your shoe.
It's Hannah.
Take them off. Wait, no,
Don't.
Did you put a homework out?
Do it right now.
Appreciate it.
What? You said nay.
So what did y'all get for number 8?
2.96. I'm still working with this.
2.962 is what you meant to say.
Yeah.
3 spots.
Alex
3, not
bumped-
2.
bumped me.
3 spots.
Well, if you count the 2 in the beginning.
Didn't do it.
Holy moly. So it's okay. Yeah. Right. Austin, you get.
I got
Oh,
one.
I did.
Over this one.
Buzz.
He just falls. He grabs it, grabs it, and just falls down.
I know, that's following. It's like I have all of them except for that.
Which guys, you want to see a video?
You want to see Coach Chastain taking his kid to the ground?
Sure.
Do you
Love
remember
to.
Coach Chastain?
Oh, yeah.
Big man, like 7
The fight's almost over there.
Can I get Victor from the office, please? Thank you.
He just falls down.
He's like-
Falls on top of it.
I have one video of like the aftermath and he's just laying on top of him. But he couldn't breathe.
That kid's probably dying.
Here's the thing.
I knew it.
That's it.
I had to want him falling.
This is yes.
All right, you got your spot to turn your homework in, I think.
Oh, so you're going to actually do college?
Yeah, it's a
You don't have to do the over and under on the last two, just because the F double prime gets pretty hairy on those.